Hi. Okay, y'all, I'm super excited about tonight. We have a special guest with us on, and it's weird because she hasn't been on a Zoom with us in like a really long time. And she is one of my dearest friends in the whole world. And she also happens to just be like a boss at this business, has been a top income earner since like day 4 that she joined, something like that. And I want to introduce you to my friend Ashley Sinclair. And I'm actually going to have you, Ashley, just share a little bit of your story because I know we have quite a few newer people on here that really don't know much about your journey. So we'll start with that.
Hey friend, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It has been too long. Hey guys, I am so pumped. I'm gonna put you guys on gallery view. Alyssa can do it however she wants, but I like the Brady Bunch view. Oh, you guys are so pretty. How are y'all? I don't want to start calling out names and leave anybody out, but hi, good friends. Um, I am really honored to be on here because, as you guys know, Alyssa is seriously, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, like one of the best leaders I have ever met in my life. I know you guys would agree. The way that she loves you guys, pours into you guys, cares about you guys, prays for y'all, worries for y'all, wants the best for y'all, which is why she asked me to do this. So just know that if I were to sign somebody up right now and I had to put them on anybody's team, it would be somewhere on Alyssa's team, I guarantee you, because I would know that they would be taken care of totally. So dang, I'm getting emotional and I miss you a lot. What is wrong with me? I miss my friends really bad, and I just worked out. So I think just it's all of it. It's just missing my friends and feeling really fat right now.
Really, since 2011, this is the longest we've gone without seeing each other.
This is definitely the longest we've gone without seeing each other in 9 years. So sorry, I don't know what happened. I got emotional, and I love your team so dearly too. But okay, yeah. So hey, I started this crazy rap business in 2011. You guys, I think the thing that I want people to know most about my story is 3 things. Number 1, I jumped in just like all of you guys did. Y'all jumped in for 99, some of you for less. I actually joined for 199, and I would pay that a million times over because of what this company has given me. So I joined just like you guys, thinking, hey, maybe I could make a few $100 a month. That sure would help. I owned a store, and so I thought, gosh, if I could put these in my store. Alyssa can tell you because she bought my store a few years later and then sold it. But every single time somebody would come in the dressing room, they would like hide a part of their body. You know how women do, like how they're like, oh my gosh, I know you're fitting me for a bra, but don't look at me. And they like cover themselves up because we never feel completely comfortable. And I thought, gosh, if this product really works, and if there's something like that could help women feel better about themselves, like I want to be on that train. And you guys, it went that far. I thought, gosh, if I could sell a few $100 worth, that would help my store. Maybe it would bring in some new customers to the store. Everything revolved around my business because I had no bigger vision. Just like a lot of you guys are thinking, gosh, if I could just bring in a few $100 extra a month, or if I could just pay for my kids' daycare, or if I could just buy groceries and help ease the burden, whatever it might be, I didn't have the vision. I didn't have it yet. And that's what we as leaders always want to continually try to put out in front of you, is to think bigger. Like, I know you guys are thinking about host to post and getting a few loyals in the computer. Like, we want to grow your mind to see this as something that can be so long term. And what happened for me, this is the part of the story I want you to really know and focus on, is that 9 days in, I sat on a training and listened to Pam Souter talk about this amazing product. And I was more and more intrigued and more thinking like, wow, but something happened. She said that there was a level you could get to, that you could get to diamond. I'm sorry, I had to jump on my husband's computer, and I don't know how to turn his notifications off. But she talked about this level that you get to where you have a license to print money. And she was talking about diamond and these things called cabs, which I'm seeing a lot of you that are diamonding up on here. And so I know that you've seen and heard about cabs and that amazing thing. And you guys, if there was a cartoon figurine of me drawn out, it literally would have been my brain exploding out just like this, because I went, okay, she said that. And then she said that there was ladies that were making 10 grand a month, 5 figures a month. And I just remember thinking, okay, all bets off, forget the $500 a month, forget a few people coming into my store. Like, if there's people making 5 figures a month doing this, slinging these fat patches, I want in, I want to do this. And I looked over at Dan that day and said, I'm going to make us $1 million. Like, y'all, it was that quick for me. I knew immediately I have my hands on something insane. And that is the fire with which I have built my business for almost 9 years now. Alyssa and I are both coming up on almost our 9-year anniversary, which is insane in this business. And we actually hit our 9-year friend anniversary like a couple months ago. That was February. And so I just remember thinking in that moment that there is something so much bigger than what I can even envision and imagine. And that's what I want for you guys, is to that thing that you've got on your mind, whether Alyssa told me I was talking to rubies and above. So if you're a ruby that's thinking about emerald, always think 2 steps ahead. Be thinking about diamond. You know, if you're a diamond and you're trying to re-rank, gosh, have that triple chart out. Like, why not? Because here's what I have found is that what you focus on, that's what you find. And so if you are focused on filling out a double diamond chart and you're only an emerald, and I don't mean only an emerald in a like bass backward kind of way, but if you're at emerald level and why not be thinking about double diamond? Like, why not be thinking about the rank and the money that you want? So here I had not even signed up a customer. I had not even signed up a distributor. And I told my husband, we're going to make $1 million. I knew it. I knew there was something, and I didn't care how long it was going to take, but I knew I had this fire and passion. And that's what I want for you guys, because working your business consistently is so important. And we'll talk about that. But when you pour that gasoline on, when you've got that desire and that fire inside of you that says, I am made for more, I want more, you truly become unstoppable in your business. You really, really do. And so you asked me to share my story. Yeah, I'm also a mom of 2 and a wife, and there's my story.
It was perfect. Okay.
And then I went ambassador. Wahoo! There you go.
Yeah, and then you made that $1 million, and then a few more afterwards.
Made a couple million so far.
Okay, so we have a couple people. I know a couple people in the chat said they don't know what cabs are or diamond bonuses. I know that's not really what the Zoom is for, but are you cool talking about some of those real quick?
Is the Pope Catholic? Amen. You know,
I
will talk about. Dan told me that I have to stop saying, does a bear, you know what, in the woods, that's not ladylike. So I came up with, okay, fine, I'll say is the Pope Catholic. So I'm trying, always trying to become a classier version, right? Always. So yes, you guys, I will talk about cabs all day long, because they are the thing that truly helped give me that vision. And so without getting out a bunch of charts and writing everything out, it essentially works like this. Once you hit diamond, every new person moving forward that you put in the computer becomes coded to you. That's an important word, okay? So you go diamond and then you sign up 3 distributors. These 3 distributors are diamond coded to you, meaning now whenever you get your fast start, you're actually not just gonna get the $150 fast start, you're also gonna get an $80 cab bonus, okay? So you're gonna get an $80 cab bonus for this person, an $80 cab bonus for this person, and an $80 cab bonus for this person. Okay, let's just say that these are the first 3 people you sign up right after you go diamond in your first month. Well, then here's the insane thing. Let's say that both of these people quit, but this one person decides, you know what, I think I'm going to go diamond. And they sign up 10 distributors over the next 6 months. You are going to make $80 off of all of those distributors that they fast start. Okay, so every fast start distributor that they get, you're going to get 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. And then here's what's insane. Let's say that those 10 people, okay, so you got 80 off of these 10 people. Let's say, I don't know, 8 seems like a normal number. I can't do math. I don't understand fingers or math or popes, apparently. So let's say that you've got then 8 people quit, and of those 10 that they sign up, but 2 of them stick around, and those 2 people decide that they're going to go diamond. And so that's 20 new people that get put that are all in your coding leg. You guys, we're talking 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. I mean, it's insane. I have a girl that went diamond May 30, yes, May 31st, and signed up 7 distributors in June. You guys, she fast started all of them. So all of them were fast started. So she got her fast start and she got her 80 bonus. So she was like, Ashley, what is this diamond 560? I was like, that's your cabs. You guys, that was just one little part of her check. And those people stay coded to you forever. So I have a girl that I signed up in 2011, right after I went diamond. I did a party. I signed up this girl at Friendship High School in the teacher's, lounge. And she signed up someone who signed up someone who signed up someone who signed up someone who signed up someone, right? Like 6, 7 levels. All quit, by the way. Yes, we're leaders and we all have people quit, right? So like all these people quit, but this one gal decides she's going to start working in like 2014. And she is an emerald. And you guys, I'm sitting here looking at 5 years worth of every distributor that she's put in the computer. I'm making $80 from work that I did at a party in 2011. So when Pam was talking about your license to print money, that's why we want you so focused on diamond. I mean, believe it or not, for some of you, it will actually take a little bit of money out of our pocket when you go diamond, if you can believe that or not. We may even lose a little bit on cabs. I don't care. My girl that just went diamond, I lost a little bit on new cabs. Now she gets the 80 and I get the others, the other part of the cab because I enrolled her as an ambassador. And you guys, even then, I'm so flipping proud of her and so excited and like pushing and wanting her to do so well because I know that cabs are where things can really become life-changing. So imagine the person that signed me up, the cabs that they were making. I mean, that's just insane. They were coding off of Alyssa's team and they were coding off of my team. And like, it's just insane to think about what it can do for your business in the future. So there's a reason why we tell you to go diamond and to get to diamond as quickly as possible, because then when those people start becoming coded to you, they're coded to you for life. So anyway, I have more in-depth training on that, but just to kind of blow your mind a little bit, it really goes insane at diamond.
What's really cool about cab bonuses too is that I feel like they allow you to really control your paycheck. Like if you know you need a $500 raise, now with $150 fast starts, if you even enroll 2 distributors, get them all 6 loyals, you're going to get 2 cabs, $300 in fast starts. You've made almost $500 by signing 2 people and showing them how to get a shopping spree. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't what this was for, but it's always good to talk about because
I'll talk about it all day.
Yeah, and every time someone new hears it that hasn't heard it before, and they're like, "Oh," and they'll have that light bulb moment that you had. Okay, so I have 3 different types of people that are on this Zoom that I want you to talk to. So the first group that's on here, and there's a good chunk of them, these are like our fresh on fire people. A lot of them joined in 2020. Like we've got girls that have gone ruby, emerald, and diamond. I don't know if we've had any doubles quite yet that joined in 2020, but like we're talking they are new, they are on the up and up, like have never, you get it. I kind of want you to talk to them about what it's like after you hit some of these promotions, when you're new, when you have that momentum going for you, and kind of the importance of pushing through and continuing to work at that pace.
I feel like, gosh, if I could go back and talk to my 2011 and 2012 self, what I would say is do not slow down. Like what you just did, it's only going to get better. And so for some of you, you're like, gosh, but Ashley, I just did this huge thing and I just went ruby and it was so much work even going ruby. And I will like put my arm around you and say, I know, now go do it again. Because here's the thing, within this business, I watch people's businesses die or fizzle out. And they really usually don't die. They usually just kind of fizzle, right? Like they sort of fizzle out, and I watch it happen. And I really believe that the number one reason that it happens is because people get complacent. I really believe it's because they just kind of like, I'm all about taking a breath and going, whew, just hit a promotion. But then man, like we're in a race. Like you got to keep running. You got to keep walking. You got to keep moving. You have to keep going forward. And so I feel like a lot of people, they hit that level and then forget that there's still so much work to be done, because within this business, things will fizzle out if you don't duplicate. And so that is the thing that I would have you write on everything that you can see. Write it on your mirror, write it on your arm, write it up where you could see it in your car, like everywhere, because that is truly where this business will take you from here to here. That is where your checks will go from, Ashley, I'm making 75 bucks a month with, 6 customers, to I'm making $6,000 a month, to I'm making $60,000 a month. Yes, you can do all those. And so I really try to get people focused on the duplication part. And so if you've gone Ruby, that's amazing. But now you've got to make more rubies. If you don't make more rubies and show other people what you've done, you guys, it's not that fun doing this business by yourself. It's not. I've been lucky enough that I have not had to do this business by myself. I've been very, very fortunate. Now we'll talk about my 2.0. That has been a different bird. But the first time around, and with my great leaders, like, I have not had to do this business, that part of my business by myself. It is not fun to do it. And so you've got to duplicate. You've got to bring in people that get it, that want it, that you stay connected to, that you keep pouring into until you duplicate. Because you guys, when that happens, literally that is where you will look up and go, how did my volume go from 800 GV to 8,000 GV? And it will happen like that. You've got your leaders on here nodding because they've watched it happen. It's about you at first. And then at a certain point, you guys, it becomes not about you at all. It becomes that fire, and that passion becomes, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. I have to have everybody else that I know has to experience this, that wants it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we want for you guys. And so if you are brand new and on fire and excited, first of all, freaking congratulations. We are so proud of you and so excited for you. Do not let that momentum up. You will hit days whenever things don't feel as fiery. That's okay. Keep going, keep doing something, and keep duplicating, because the duplication is where you're going to look up and go, I get what she was talking about. I get why I can't be the only Ruby on my team and sustain that forever. Who wants to do that? Go, now that you know how to go Ruby, now it's time for you to go make a new Ruby. And then once you do that and you go Emerald, guess what we're going to say? Congratulations, good job, you're amazing. Now go make another Ruby, because when you do, then you're Diamond. And then when you do that, we're going to say, good job, way to go, high five. Go make 2 more Rubies so that you can go double Diamond. You guys, everything is built on that Ruby. And so those of you that just came in, congratulations for where you're at. But man, I hope and pray that we can expand your vision to be way bigger. I mean, high five, I'm proud of you, comma, but like, keep going. There's so much more for you to accomplish. Okay. So that's what I would say to the new people that are in, is just to not get complacent and go and duplicate as many times as you can.
So good. Okay. And I'm actually really excited about a lot of that group, because they haven't even been experienced like through conference season or any of that. Like, some of these
Yeah.
girls don't even know what conference is. They joined after conference. And so
Yeah.
I feel like each year, each layer, and even people on here that have been in for a year or two, each year you go into like that conference New Year's season at a new level of you with a new team and with, new ranks that you're reaching after. And so I'm really excited for that whole group. Okay, so the next group that we have on here, and there's probably quite a few, this is probably the biggest bunch on here, I feel like, is the group that's getting tired. The group that has been pushing, that has worked, through however long they've been in. They've been consistent, but they keep maybe putting the same goal out there, or maybe they hit a goal a few months ago and now they feel stuck. But kind of just speaking to those people on like picking up the pace again, like how, when you feel that way, like how do you kind of get jump started? And I think this will be a good spot for you to kind of talk about your 2.0 spot too, and just your experience there.
Right. No, and you're exactly right. Well, first of all, when you are working in a business like this, you're going to get tired. Alyssa is a liar, and Tiffany is a liar, and Sarah is a liar, and Ariel's a liar, and I mean, Sam's a liar. We're all lying to you if we say that there are not times whenever we get tired. But the difference is taking a day, or taking maybe even 2 days, is what we'll do. And we recharge and we fill back up, and then it's time to keep going. Because here's the deal. In anything in life, anything that you want that is worth having, you don't stop. It's not there's no like full on, okay, I have completed this task, now I'm done, and nothing like that in life that has to do with relationships, that has to do with your work. Like, that's just not how God created us. There is always something more to be reaching for and growing toward. And so a couple of things came to mind whenever you were talking, Alyssa. The first thing is, you constantly, and I don't let this be exhausting, let it be something that is freeing and a good exercise to do monthly, is know what your why is. And you guys have heard us say that so many times. Those of you that have been in this for a while, and I'm talking to you, you've heard that so many times that I know you are numb to it, and I know it is probably falling on deaf ears. And so I'm really going to ask you to listen to these words in a new way. And that is that you have to reignite the passion for your why. The passion for this business comes from the passion for your why. The passion that you will use to propel yourself to the next level has to come from pouring into others, getting excited about helping other people reach their goals, getting excited about reaching your own goals, having some thing that is in front of you that is a worthy and noble goal that you are reaching toward. Because when that's out in front of you, you become unstoppable. I watched it happen with Alyssa. I've watched it happen with Tiffany. I keep picking them out because they're like literally like right here on my screens, but I watched it happen with both of them where they both went, enough. Like, I am tired of being at this level. I remember sitting in Fort Worth with Alyssa and her having a paycheck that was $4,000. I don't even know if it was 4,000. I think it might've been like 3,800 in January. And she had like 24,000 4 months later. What's the difference? There's only 4 months difference. You cannot do that much business in 4 months on your own. What changed? The thing that changed for her was she went, I have not been making this business the priority that it deserves. This business can change my life. I want something different. Let's go. Her why expanded. And in that moment, her business expanded. And so it is the exact same thing for you. If your why, you guys, your why has got to be out in front of you. It has to be something that you are striving for every single day. So that's the very first thing I would tell you. When I'm tired, when I get tired for longer than like a week, when I'm down and I'm in a funk for longer than 4 to 7 business days, that's whenever I usually have to circle back around and say, okay, I do not have my eye on the prize, or the goal I'm working for is not a worthy goal for me. It's not something that's getting me fired up. What is going to get me fired up? And so that's usually where I have to like reconnect the dots, if that makes any sense. So that's the first thing I would tell you is, what is that? Because when you're working out of a passion for that goal, you work completely differently. Wouldn't y'all agree? It's not even so much this like hustle, hustle, hustle mentality. You just got to work all day and all night. It's not coming from a place of that. It's coming from a place of, you know that this goal is going to be reached. You're expectant for it and you're ready to receive it. And that is such a different place to work from than, and trust me, because all of us on here that have hit diamond and above, I guarantee you we have all worked out of that place of just hustle, just grit, just do it, just blah, 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 just slay all day. And all the memes that are out there that now I used to post and now they exhaust me. I'm like, I don't want to work like that anymore. I want to work from a place of love and excitement and joy and like passion for my team. And I'm working from that now. And it feels so different every day whenever I'm messaging and talking to people and working. I want to bring them in. So that's the first thing I would tell you is your why you're really doing this. And then, the headspace that you're working from. Because when your why is set, I feel like you work from a different headspace. It doesn't feel like you are just pulling people. It feels like you're actually getting to lead people, and that's a different space to work from. So that's the first thing that I would say. The second thing is, who are you surrounding yourself with? You guys, there have been so many people over the last almost 9 years that sadly have come in my life and like left as quickly as they came into my life. There are people that have been in my life that taught me all kinds of things for that season and then have moved on, or they're no longer, in the business with me, and that's okay. But I know for me, I spent too many years listening to the wrong people. I spent too many years surrounded by people that, and listening to people that didn't have the same passion and why that I had. And I let them kind of bring me down. And I use this at almost every retreat that I have because it takes me back to my like junior high youth group days where they would use this analogy in dating. And you guys, some of you will know what I'm talking about, but like they would have you stand up on the chair, and then somebody else would be down here, and they would say, is it easier to pull this person up to you or for them to pull you down? And of course, gravity, it's way easier for them to pull you down. And so I remember, obviously they were using that for like dating and making sure that you're dating the right person. But I always think of that within this business too, that it's not that I can't coach people that are negative, but the loudest voices in my life have to be people that are positive, that are speaking life into me, that are, pushing me to be a better version of myself, and that are doing it in love. And so I would really encourage you to examine who you're listening to. You guys, I can't tell you how many chats I've had to leave over the years. Maybe they started for a good reason, but they no longer served me because they became negative, or they just became a place to like complain or be frustrated. And, I get it. We've all got a vent, but man, the last thing I want to do in this business is focus on the things that I'm not crazy about. There's always going to be things in any job that you're not crazy about, and you get what you focus on. And so I want to focus on things that are positive. And so that means I want to be around people that are positive. That means I want to have people like Alyssa in my life that will, lift me up, that when I'm around her and I leave her, I'm better. And that's what you want. You want to find those people. And so be very careful about who you're listening to. And that also goes for your news feed. I can't tell you how many times that I will tell people when they're in a funk, I'm like, have you cleaned up your news feed in a while? Have you unfollowed and muted some of those people for a while that there's nothing but negativity? You guys, the world is freaking crazy right now. Would y'all agree? Like I mean, like if I did not know the Lord, I swear I would think that everything was ending tomorrow. And I would have been thinking that for four months. That's all about to be over. It's all going to burn up. And so there's so much insanity going on right now that you have the chance, number one, to be a light. But number two, you have to make sure that you're protecting your peace. And I feel like for a lot of people that get really tired in this business, it's because they start focusing on the negative, or they let that negative creep in, and then it doesn't ever really go away. It just, those voices start becoming louder than the ones saying, you can do this, you got this, right? And so that's another thing that I would tell you, just really protect your mindset. And then the third thing that I would tell you is focus on new. Focus on new. And that is a word that you should write down too. I told you to write down duplicate. You need to write down new. And I prayed for this for so long, you guys. And Alyssa asked me to reference my 2.0, and it's not hard for me to talk about, because for those of you that don't know, when you hit ambassador, they give you a 2.0. Some of y'all are on Alyssa's 2.0. They give you like another leg. It's basically, they let you re-enroll yourself and you get to work that business almost like a spouse spot. You know how some of you have like your spot. The gates. I get my first. I know what I'm doing. I'm amazing. Let's go. Y'all, it took me 4 months to hit double diamond. I had it for 2 months and then I lost it. And I did not get my double diamond. I think I might have gotten it back 1 or 2 months if I paid for it a little bit. I don't even think I did that though. And then I just now got back my double diamond, solid for the first time in, I think it was April or May. I don't remember if it was April or May. And I also got Dan to diamond. So Dan's under my 2.0, and so both of our spots are at double diamond now. And here's what changed. I'm still Ashley, same products that you guys have, same auto ship, same host to post, same everything, right? The difference was all right here. The difference was I started praying for new. I started focusing on new. I started opening my mind up, my heart up to like new ways to work my business. Okay, what I'm doing is not working. That's the definition of insanity. So I went to people that are making more money than me. I went to people that I trust and love and said, what am I missing? I went to a coach and said, I need help. Like I am obviously missing something. There is a disconnect. And you guys, through that, I uncovered that all I was really doing and speaking about was about the old days. And if you guys were at conference, you heard me stand up in front of everybody and talk about how, God had like promised that we have got to look forward. Like he says in Isaiah, and I quote this verse all the time, but it's one of my favorite verses. My dad made me memorize it on a trip to Arkansas whenever I was like 10 years old. So it's, you know, they talk about the word being hidden in your heart. Like that word is hidden in my heart since I was a little girl. But he says, that, you know, that he's making a way in the desert, streams in the wasteland, that like, don't you see it? I'm doing this new thing. It's springing up. You've got to look. And what I realized was that I had zero focus on what was in front of me because I was so sad and mad about what I had lost behind me, and was so focused on, you know, the good old days. And I was so focused on like, you know, the people that had left. And I was so focused on, gosh, if I had just signed them up and put them over here, or if I had done this or done that, like, you guys, my mind was a mess thinking about the past and not looking for the new. And so every morning when I was journaling, I was like, you guys, and when I say new, I want to tell you a couple of different things I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about new stuff in your business. I'm talking about, I got a new morning routine. I got a new nighttime routine. I got a new trainer. I got new everything. I literally, any place that I could, I tried to pull in new and fresh in every aspect of my life. And there are some of you that you need to do this. You need to, unearth some things and dig up some things to get to the new, so that you can plant something brand new. And one of the things that I had just prayed so specifically for was for God to give me a new vision and a new team that I could work with. But I also promised him, when that happens, because I know your promises are true, when these new people come into my life and they come into my business, I'm going to do something new for them. I'm not going to be Ashley, the old leader in 2015 and 16 and 17. I'm going to be Ashley in 2020. I'm going to promise to be new too. Try to find new ways to train, new ways to connect. And you guys, in doing that, it changed my entire business. We went from, 6,000 in volume to 28,000 in volume in 4 months. It felt like that because I was so focused on doing things new and what was in front of me instead of what was behind. So that was probably too long. I'm sorry, but I was trying to,
No,
I want to pull all those people in and just like huddle. Like if I could, I would pull all of you in that Alyssa talked about, and we would huddle up. And we would do like a little team thing. And it would be like, guys, you have freaking got this, but you've got to get your minds right, because it starts up here. It really does.
It does. It's so good. And just like with your 2.0, like you were fighting to get back to a rank it had already achieved. And like it gets old, it gets tiring if all you're doing is just focusing on getting that rank back. You're boring. Like you have to do something new, because eventually you'll just drive yourself crazy if that's the only thing you're thinking about.
And you know, Alyssa, that really, I'm going to say this carefully. Y'all give me some grace as I say this, because I'm processing it a bit. It's not that I didn't care about getting to the rank. I cared about becoming a new leader. I cared about bringing new people in. There was a different mindset than I have to fill up my double chart and just get here as fast as I can because I'm comparing myself to the next girl. It wasn't, and that's how I built my business at the beginning, and it was very much success driven and competition driven, and like, I've got to beat this person. I mean, it was so weird. My mind was messed up. I had a lot of growing up to do. And so this time around, it's not that I didn't care about the double diamond chart in front of me. I just went into it with, how many girls could I help get to Ruby? I don't mean place until I make them a Ruby, because God knows I can do that a million times and it'll fall apart the next day. We've all done it, right? Where you've just built a leg and then it's gone. And so I was like, I want to do this differently. I want to chart differently. I want to, be a different kind of leader and grow differently this time. And my focus truly became these couple of ladies. I didn't have many, but I just had this like tiny little group. It started at conference, these 2 girls that came to conference, and that was it. And they really weren't even working that hard. As a matter of fact, I had to work with them to put down excuses for a long time, but I worked with them and we started, and then this little community started forming. And then it was like our group of 2 became 3, and then 3 became 4, and 4 became 6. And now there's like, 10 of us in this little group chat. And is that insane, mind blowing? If I try to compare it to 2000 whatever, I will be disappointed. But I'm not. I'm looking at that like, oh my gosh, these girls are growing, these girls are working, these girls are pushing past fears, these girls are becoming better versions of themselves, and I get to be a part of that. How amazing is that? So it's just a totally different mindset and shift. So for those of you that are tired, because I get it, of pulling out the exact same freaking chart every time, You guys, that was not my mindset anymore. I started pulling out my team's charts. I pulled out Jennifer's chart, and I pulled out Rachel's chart, and I pulled out Miriam's chart, and I pulled out Cheyenne's chart. And it was like, I pulled these charts out and I was like, okay, ladies, let's go. Let's get to Ruby. And then they did. And it's like, okay, let's go. And you got a bunch of them that are pushing for Emerald now, and Jen became Diamond and is pushing for Double. And so it starts like that. It starts with, okay, how many amazing rubies can I work on? Because if I was constantly focused on, I got to get back my double diamond, I think that's why I was exhausted for 5 years building my 2.0. Alyssa can attest to how many times I called it a black hole, how many times I spoke so negatively about it. And I know some of you are doing the same thing with your chart because you get tired of looking at the same things or the same people. And so I erased everything. That's the other thing. Okay, I'm on to like step number 4. I'm sorry, Alyssa. I'm not, I think this needs a little more. So now I'm getting excited and sweaty. So step number 4 that I would tell those of you that are in this position is erase. Like literally pull out a brand new chart. Every month I was pulling out a brand new chart with people that were actually on it and working. Not how many people, because you guys, all of us, especially if you've been around since $10 or $20 kits, we've all been charted to like triple ambassador 74 times, right? Like if we're just writing down names of people on our team, like we're all black diamonds, okay? What I had to look at was this honest look at my chart and say, okay, but who do I have that's actually going? And y'all, it was scary that in January, I was sitting at 6,000 in volume that was mostly all from me and having to go, I have one girl, one that has put in more than 3 customers in the last 3 months. Like my downline count would be 22 or 36, and I would be 35 of the 36, or I would be 21 of the 22 people that were enrolled on my 2.0 at that month. And I was like, how are we going to grow this? And you guys, it took an honest look at my chart. I quit saying, I'm just got to get back to double diamond. If I could just get back, it didn't become about that. It became about something fresh and new, and putting that name at the top of a Ruby chart and going, okay, she has 7 distributors under her, but all of them have ghosted us. All of them have fallen off the face of the earth. None of them are working that business. And so guess what? We put her name at the top of the chart with nobody under it. You need 3 new people. And so when that became the mindset of new and fresh and something to work toward, and this honest chart and not this like what I wanted it to be, right? Actually taking a look and going, okay, crap, this really, really stinks. Like there's only one girl that's even halfway in this with me, and she only has her big toe. She doesn't even have her whole foot in the pond with me. So, but I'm going to work with that. I can work with a big toe. Some of you are literally working with like one big toe, and I get it, and it stinks, but here's the thing. Keep working with the big toe, okay, until the whole foot goes in, until they head dive into the pond, because that is exactly what happened. And that's what I've watched happen over and over. So clear your chart. If you've got, talk to Alyssa, talk to Tiff, Sarah, some of your leaders that I'm seeing on here, talk to them and say, okay, Ashley talked about the big toe. I've got like one little piggy that is halfway in, and that's it. That's okay. It's okay, because now you know what you need, and now you can take an honest look and quit thinking about the past and quit being sad. I truly believe the reason that we get I'm glad I'm not at my desk with all my old charts. I'm at Dan's desk. But all these old charts were around me all the time, and it was stressful and it was depressing, because every name that was on there of somebody that had quit would just depress me more and make me feel like a loser and a leader that didn't know how to keep people in the business. That's just me being really honest. And I was like, what is wrong with me that I can't get people to stick? What is wrong with me? What am I doing that people keep quitting on me? But in focusing on new, everything began to change. And so that's the other thing I would tell you guys to do if you're in that same spot, that you're tired of like putting the same goal out there over and over. Find a new freaking goal to put out there. Your goal may need to be, like my goal would be, I'm going to help build a Ruby this month. I'm going to help these 2 girls that now have their big toe in the pond. Like I'm going to help them put their foot in there, and we're going to get, 2 big rubies. And that's what happened. Then here came the 3rd ruby, here came the 4th and 5th ruby. And that's where you have to start. So my focus and my goal was not on this big, huge promotion. And I was thinking about this today, and I need to make a video about it. So y'all are going to catch this hot off the press. But the thing that I would tell you is, and you guys have to realize that I started my business when I was 22, my other store. And so I don't know a lot of corporate America, but I've heard horror stories. There is only so many promotions and so many raises that you're going to get in a year, right? That we work for. And it's the same thing within this business. To think that every single month you're going to promote, or to think that there's only what, 8 or 9 levels in the whole, is there 8? I mean, you can't promote every month. So we have to get really good at setting goals for ourselves that aren't just based on promotion. I am all about promotion. I am all about going for the next rank. I want you to push, do not get me wrong, but there is a time and a season for everything. And for some of you, your goal just needs to be, I'm going to make a new Ruby this month. I am going to rise up a new Ruby leader this month, and that is okay. Or I am going to do my steps to success twice. Focus on those kinds of things that aren't just about the team aspect. You'll begin to get a lot more excited about your business. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
So good. I took notes while you were talking so I wouldn't forget some things. First of all, now I know why I have a foot pool, because of all the toe references and everything from tonight. So I'm never going to sit in my big toe and not think about this Zoom tonight. I appreciate it. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. First of all, we have a lot of yellows on our team. So I think what you said about pulling out other people's charts, I think we have a lot of people that need to do that. Even if it's just an executive, a Ruby, like pulling out other people's charts on your team, because we have a lot of people on this team that will work harder for someone else than they will for their own goals. And I mean, even Tiff and I promoting last year, like, is a perfect example. We had so many people that fought harder for us to go president ambassador than they fought for their own goals. They did it for us. So I think if you know that about yourself, that's something that you always need to have in your back pocket, is the goals of your team. And then the other thing that you said was just you can't promote every month. So having those smaller goals, I think we have a lot of people that have the vision because they've been in longer, they know what this business can do. So they have this goal of triple pres ambassador, but there's no urgency matched with it, because it's like you wake up on July 1st and you're like, okay, well, this isn't the month that it's happening. And so there's no push. Like, you have to have something else that you're in control of, because you can't control a lot of those bigger promotions on your own anyways. And you can be realistic and say this isn't the month, but you have to have something that's specific working towards that goal, or you'll look up in another year and realize you're in the exact same spot. So exactly. And then your other thing with your black hole, I know a lot of people on here have a black hole in their chart, or the distributor graveyard where people go to die. Like, literally, there's so many references to it. I'm looking at people that have spouse spots that are just have been completely built. And I think everyone needs to realize we kind of all have that. Like, literally, there's not a person on here that doesn't have that on some part of their chart. And I think sometimes we have to be real about that while we're looking for the new. It's okay to know we've all got that distributor graveyard over there somewhere in our chart. Okay, last thing, because I know I've kept you longer than I was planning to. The last group of people that I think we have on here, I'm going to refer to them as our bench warmers. They're people that are not in the game. They are here. They're obviously, hopefully, on this Zoom or watching a recording of it, but they haven't been all in this year. Either life has gotten in the way, or just excuses, or they get started and then life happens again, so they totally back out. It's like all in or all out. Or they have their toe in the water, but they haven't been all in a while. What would you say to that group? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but
no, it's, and I've been thinking about what to say to that group, because my personality type is so, what are you waiting for? That it's hard for me to try to empathize and go, well, life is happening, but I get it. But I guess my question that I would ask is, give me an instance in which life is not constantly happening to all of us. Like, life is always happening. We are in the middle of living it, and nobody's life rolls straight through like this without bumps and hiccups, right? And valleys. And so I just learning to work this business for a reason that's just bigger than just yourself, I think is huge. And a lot of my advice would be very similar across the board, but for those that that are just bench warming and just kind of hanging around, I mean, my invitation to you would be to get in the flipping game, because I truly believe that you are going to look back on this time and go, I wish I would have. And see, for someone like me, the way that God wired me, that that is one of the scariest thoughts that I can think of. One of the scariest things I can think of is looking up and regretting something that had been placed right in front of me as this amazing opportunity, and I was either too lazy, too scared, too tired, too, oh, life is happening, to let, to make that magic happen. And I would be scared to death of it. And so I would tell you, first of all, I really think you're going to regret this time that you're not investing into your business. And I don't mean those of you that, you work a full-time job and you're coming home and you're working on it when you can. That's not who I'm talking about. I mean, those of you that just are not all in it. Um, the other thing is, again, finding that reason why you're working it that is so much bigger than you. You have to have it. You have to have that, or you will quit. Just like, but here's the deal. Here's the thing. It's not just this business. The people that don't have a deeper reason why, or a deeper commitment and a deeper connection to anything in their life, you're going to quit it. You're going to quit the next job. You're going to give up on that friend whenever things get a little bit tough. You're going to give up on your marriage. You're going to give up on your health goals. I mean, all the bit, you spiritually, you're going to give up on all the big things in your life if that's who you are. And so if this business is something that you feel like you were supposed to be a part of, and it was something that you started and that you really had a goal for, my invitation to you would be like, come get in the game. And some people would say, well, how? Or I don't even know where to start. Oh my gosh, number one, reach out to your sponsor. If you don't have a great sponsor, reach out to Alyssa or Tiffany or any one of the other leaders that's on here and say, hey, I'm one of those girls Ashley was talking about that was like sitting on the bench, or I just had my big toe in. I like that we've come up with that reference. I've been one of those people, and I want to get in the game. What do I need to do? And the truth is, guys, is that I feel like in so many things in life, and forgive me if I get emotional, but like we wait on this magic to happen, and we wait on the stars to align, and we wait for this like feeling and this rush of passion and this like, I don't know, Hollywood moment thing that we've been fed our whole lives. Like that there is no one coming to, like, there's nobody coming to save you in the story. You literally just have to take a step. And then when you're done taking that step, you've got to take another step. And then when you're done taking that step, you take another step. A little bit ago, and this is really simple, but I've had it on my deal, on my list. Like, I'm going to walk 3 times a week. I have my trainer that comes 3 times a week, and I'm going to walk 3 times a week. Like, I've got to get my body moving more. Just getting older, and then just working from home, you got to move. And so I put it off constantly because I would rather work all day than I would work out. I would rather be on my phone and on my computer doing this business all day long than I would work out. And so it was 8:32, and I was like, oh, but now the Zoom's coming up at 9. And I went, this is so silly. And it took 3 seconds. I should say 5 seconds because that reminds me of Mel Robbins' rule. But it took like 3 seconds of me going, just put your shoes on. And I went and put my shoes on, and I went downstairs, and I walked for 24 minutes before I was able to come up here and talk to you guys. And I get to go to bed tonight knowing like, sweet, I did something that I said I was going to do. Right. And it's those simple things. Like, that's what I would just want to put in anybody's head that is sitting on the bench, or that is feeling like, well, life is happening or whatever. Like, you just have to put one foot in front of the other in your marriage, in your spiritual walk with the Lord, in your discipline with your health, and your and the food choices that you make. Like, if we're constantly thinking about the ways that we've screwed up or the time that we've lost, this is one of the big things that I fight this constantly. This is like Satan's thing that he can work on my brain with. This is to think about, oh, but you already lost 4 months, so 1 more week of eating bad won't hurt you, right? Or, oh, I mean, you haven't done that in 2 months anyway, so 1 week of doing host to post isn't going to change your business. But that's the thing, is that 1 week of host to post will change your business, because action breeds more action, and inactivity breeds more inactivity. And so you just have to make the choice. You have to make the step. Open your Bible in the morning. Drink the water before the coffee, right? take the walk, even if it's 20 minutes. I couldn't get in the full 30 minutes. I could have said, oh, but I don't have 30 minutes. You guys, I work 24 minutes is better than no minutes. Wouldn't we all agree? Right? So 5 host to posts going out is better than nothing. Don't be mad that you didn't get 25. And I feel like for a lot of people that sit on the bench, some of it is just laziness. I don't really relate to that with the way God wired my brain, but I really think for the most part, for a lot of people that are sitting on the bench, I think of all the things that I've sit on the bench in my life that were important to me, the times that I had to get back in the game. And almost always it wasn't laziness. It was a lack of inspiration and desire. That why was not really there. And it was that feeling of, well, I've already lost so much time. And so that is the thing that I would encourage you to get out of your brain, is that if you're sitting here and you're going, oh, but I've already wasted 6 months. Oh, so you're going to waste the next 5? Like, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Like, that is the dumbest thing. What's the deal about, like, one of my tires is flat, so I'm going to slash the other 3? It's the same concept. What are we doing? Don't say, well, I can only get 5 hosts to post up, so I can't work this business, so I'm going to do none. That's like me saying, well, I can only walk 24 minutes. I wanted to walk 30, so I guess I won't walk at all. Wouldn't that be asinine for me to say? It's that you're doing the same thing. If you're on here and you're watching this and you're not in the game, you're doing the exact same thing. You are wasting your time, and you are wasting the time of being able to potentially help change someone's life and change your own life when you're not getting in the game. And so I think that's all I've got. And I got sweaty.
So good though. So good. For me personally, I'm such a perfectionist. So if my day doesn't go the way that I wanted it to go, starting from the very beginning, if I'm not careful, I use that as an excuse of like, tomorrow I'll get those things done because like I really needed to start at 5 a.m., but Jackson was awake. And I'll just like milk that all day if I let it, instead of just saying, okay, well, I'm not going to get to do the things that I thought I can do, but I can do these, 10 things and still be proud when I go to bed tonight. I'll never forget at whatever they called them back in the day, One Team, One Mission event, Cody Chapman said that everything about this business is easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. Like, it's just this simple decision to just do it or not do it. Like, host a post, not hard. Posting, not hard. Throwing up a story, not hard. Like, nothing that we do is physically or really even mentally demanding. I mean, we have literally word board and copy and paste. Like, it is the matter of like 3 buttons to do some of these things. But it's the people that are successful are the ones that just do them even when they don't feel like them. They take the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and they just do it despite their feelings. And then we know we do the things, we get the enrollments, and then we feel like doing it again and again because we get that high.
And I think too, Alyssa, like within this business, it does take a little bit of momentum getting started. And so because of that, it's kind of like whenever you get back on track with working out or you get back on track with your eating, right? Doing that, it's not that it's difficult to make good food choices. They're all around us, but it's just as easy to pick up an apple as it is to pick up cookies, right? It is just as easy to pick up a bag of chips as it is a banana. And so because of that, we make these small little decisions every day and we don't see the difference, right? You don't see the difference until you look up and you go to put on your pants and they don't fit. And in this business, you don't see it until you look up and all of a sudden you've signed up someone that goes Ruby on their own. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Well, what happened? And we call it magic. And there's nothing magical about it. It's literally just been choosing the apple instead of the cookies, right? It's the same thing in this business. Instead of scrolling, you put up 5 hosts to post. Is that going to completely change your business and make you an ambassador? Heck no. Anybody that tells you that, run far away from them. But doing these things every day that we put out in front of you guys and say, post this, say this, message this, host, put your spin on it. But here's a good guideline of things to do if you're not sure yet. You guys, it doesn't seem like much, but you start adding up those days. My trainer and I, we call it stacking. I am just all about stacking wins. How many wins can I stack? Because that's where the big impact is made. that is where things change, right? And you don't ever see it when you're in the thick of it. You see it afterward. And then you're like standing on this mountain going, oh my gosh, look how freaking far I walked up this mountain. I had no clue, because every day you were just taking a couple of steps. And that's the thing, that if we could get you to see the compound math of how this business really works, that if you even had, let's say that you don't even do 365. What's half of 365? 182.5 maybe? I think we're going to go with that. That seems wrong, but also right. Okay, so let's just say that you only work your business every other day. Can you imagine in 182.5 days how much further you would be than if you just said, well, I can't do it perfectly, so I'm not going to do it at all today? Start, do something. That compounded over time, that kind of activity, you guys, it breeds more activity. The thing with motivation and the thing with momentum is that we wait for this thing, and there's nothing to wait for. It's just taking a step. And then here's what's so cool. You do that host to post, and then maybe nothing happens. Then you put up 5 more, and then maybe nothing happens. And then you sign a loyal one day, and then maybe they quit in 3 months. That's fine. But you keep going, and then you've got 5 more up. And now, oh, look, now I've signed up a new distributor from that host to post. And now they're putting up host to post. Oh my gosh, here we go. And you begin to see this like domino effect that it's not obvious until you're standing on the mountain. And so my encouragement to you, anybody on here, no matter where you're at in your business, whether you're on fire, whether you're not, is just know that what you're doing now matters. I promise you it matters. I would not be telling you to do it if it didn't matter. If it was not going to produce some kind of a result, trust me, I do not want to waste people's time. And so I would not tell you to do something that is not going to help you in the future. Those little things added up, making those small choices. Instead of scrolling, I'm going to put up 5 host to post. Hey, instead of just liking, I'm going to just go ahead and comment. Instead of following 10, I'm going to follow 15 and see what happens. Hey, instead of sending out 4 messages asking for people to try the product, I'm going to send out 8 and see what happens. Those little steps and those changes, I'm about to use a biblical, they like bring about more changes and more movement and momentum and activity. And that's how your business begins to take off. It's not waiting until this one magical Zoom, because all the feeling, if you have any feeling right now at all, which you may not, but if you have any at all of excitement or motivation, like I'm sweating and excited and ready to work, it will be gone tomorrow. It's going to be gone. It's something you've got to continually fuel by just doing more action. My excitement and passion comes from continuing to put in the work and seeing the result from it. Okay, I really am done.
Yes.
I've had 3 Altoids. I'm 3 Altoids in, and I'm super sweaty.
It was perfect. We appreciate you for spending so much time with us tonight. It was so good. I took notes. I know people were blowing up the chat. I did record it, and we appreciate you, friend, for sharing all of the goodness with us. I miss your face. Hopefully see you soon.
I miss you too. I haven't fully ruled out July 31st. Not fully. Are you guys still doing it? I really